My name is George Leith. We're going to walk through the information that you are going to need to be a reseller for LMS Max. And I want to start by going through a number of items that are key components of any presentation that you're making to business people and some of the things that we've learned. We're protecting the reputation of over 250,000 businesses and counting, including some of the biggest brands in North America. And also, small and medium businesses have found that online reputation is vitally important to their businesses as well. And we're going to walk through how you would go about selling to a client this incredible solution and how we've had success in selling in various markets throughout North America. I just want to point out one thing that's really important, and that is that clients are being inundated by telemarketers all the time. And the one thing that we found, and this is a BIA Kelsey slide from a presentation that I witnessed in Las Vegas a number of months back, and Rick Ducey, who is one of the chief operating people there at BIA Kelsey, was speaking that they did a survey of 2,500 businesses in the U.S., and those businesses reported back in the survey that either very important or extremely important to the business person was an in-premise salesperson giving them information and selling them digital products and services. They are getting phone calls on a daily basis about these products and services. And what the business people are saying in this slide and with this data is, we would like to have somebody call on us, because when we have questions, and there are a number of questions in this industry, it's nice to have somebody that we can go to with those questions. And this is pretty impressive numbers when it comes to speaking to the fact that salespeople are needed in order to tell the story and to deal with the issues that come up from time to time. So we're going to talk today about reputation intelligence and how you would go out and sell that to a business person. I like to always talk about this story that appeared in the New York Times last September. Eric T. Schneiderman, the Attorney General of the state of New York, was quoted in this story talking about what's even worse than old-fashioned false advertising. New York regulators announced that day that they had completed the most comprehensive crackdown on deceptive reviews on the internet. They reached out to 19 companies and they told them to stop these practices and to pay a total of $350,000 in penalties. It's a year-long investigation where they found that companies would phone a business with negative reviews and say, hey, we can help you with that. And then they would post a number of phony positive reviews because, as we do know, they did have one thing right. The way to deal with negative reviews is to bury them in positive reviews. But these positive reviews were coming from people that didn't exist. And Schneiderman in the Attorney General's office wants to protect the validity of the online review universe. And we're going to talk about some other stats later as to how important reviews are to consumers. And this story right here just shows how important the online reputation industry has become. The best way to prospect for digital revenue is a fabulous little prospecting tool that we have access to through Reputation Intelligence called Snapshot. And it gives us a chance to start the conversation with the prospective business about their virtual doorway. And I want to take you into Snapshot right now and walk you through how easy it is to create a Snapshot report. So this is the sales tool. You're able to come into this piece, and we have a number of accounts that have been created. I just want to show you how easy it is. We're going to create an account. We select the country. We put in the phone number. We do a search, and then we move to create the Snapshot report. In about 10 minutes, it populates the report, and in 24 hours, we have a fully populated report that we could go out and talk to a client about. Let's look at one of those fully populated reports for the Hilton in San Diego, and this is what the Snapshot report looks like. It has a cover page. We can go and print it. We can also take it out on our iPad or our desktop computer and start a conversation with the client. So this is the Hilton San Diego. This is how the business wants to be seen. And when we go in to view the report, we can start talking to them about the various items. We'll get to listing distribution in a moment, but let's first talk about visibility and the sources that the Hilton San Diego should be found on. We also show some industry numbers. So they are doing just a little bit better than the industry. They have some populated sites on social, but the accuracy of their listings is atrocious. They have wrong phone numbers. They have missing phone numbers, and they have incorrect addresses. So a number of these items can be solved by communicating with the listing sources or by turning on our listing distribution product, which then takes that correct data, this information right here, and sends it out to Newstar Localese, Factual, Axiom, and Infogroup, who then in turn send that data out to the 400 places on the internet where a business needs to be seen. So I want to talk a little bit about that. some of the, and we're going to provide these assets to you as well that you can utilize as a reseller. Some of the very important assets include this one right here. Decisions by a consumer are made before they ever enter a store. 83% of consumers have said, we make our buying decisions before we ever go to a store. So the business needs to be vitally concerned about their virtual doorway. And that virtual doorway is a couple of things. It's how they want to be seen, and that's that data that's on the listing sites that we just spoke about, that visibility. And that, coupled with what consumers are saying about them on social media sites and review sites, that's what's going on right here in this research phase. Google calls it the 0 moment of truth. And during that 0 moment of truth, advertising leads to awareness, and then consumers go out and do research, and then they arrive at a business. So let's speak a little bit more about that listing distribution product. These are the 4 data providers that we give the data to. They then go and push that information out to over 300 places on the internet. It's a long tail solution. It doesn't happen overnight because we don't know when the listing site is going to accept the data. We know when the data provider gets it, but we don't necessarily know when the specific listing site gets that data. And this is what we're moving to correct. Business name, street address, zip and state, phone number, the website, business category, and later this year, hours of operation, photos, and video. The local search is what we're trying to help the business with, how they show up here in that magic 7, the carousel in some categories. We're trying to help the business person achieve this local search metric, and by getting that data correct. Because when we ask Google for hair salons, this being in Gulfport, Mississippi, it goes out and it checks all the data, and it gives us the 7 that have the most consistent data. So also when we look at this snapshot report, we're able to talk to the business about reviews. And you'll see that the Hilton San Diego, they get a number of reviews, far more than their industry, but they need to be continued to getting reviews on an ongoing basis. And their reviews are coming from 6 different locations. And that's why they need a solution like Reputation Intelligence. 90% of U.S. consumers in a recent survey said their buying decisions were influenced by online reviews. Nielsen went out and asked a bunch of U.S. consumers, hey, when you make a buying decision, are you using online reviews? And 90% said yes. So if a business is not playing in the online review universe, they need to get educated as to how to handle that. And we are helping businesses all across North America with this on a daily basis. And we've come up with the 3 steps to responding to a negative review. It's a very simple thing. The first step, say you're sorry. The second step, leave some marketing. And the third step, try and get the consumer that has had the negative experience on the phone and solve the problem. That's what we're shooting for when it comes to this. Now, this business, the Hilton San Diego, has what I would call a healthy review pipeline. They have 171 reviews coming from 6 different sources. And that's important to note because that business should be utilizing those reviews as management tools. Good reviews show managers and owners of a business the things that they're doing right, and you should highlight those in front of your staff during your training sessions. And bad reviews show you staff that require more training or policy issues that you may need to change in your business. And with Reputation Intelligence, we deliver those reviews with email alerts. So if a review is populated for the Hilton San Diego today, tomorrow, up to 6 members of their management team will receive that review in their email without having to log into the 6 sites where they're receiving reviews. This is one of the key selling components when it comes to Reputation Intelligence. And of course, our Reputation Intelligence piece is coupled with Concierge, which provides a monthly proof of performance of the work that we're doing for the client. So yes, there's a DIY component where we show the business the issues that they have in visibility and their reviews and their social channels, and we give them a software solution that will help them with a mobile-friendly website. But we have found that the majority of businesses probably want someone to handle that stuff for them, and that's where Concierge comes in. And again, we can help you out with that as a reseller, where we can provide you with a piece of software that has a task manager for all these things that have come out of Reputation and social and web, and provides the client at the end of the month with a monthly report. And this is an example of one of these reports for Vance Gobbies in Fort Worth, Texas. It's for the month of April, and you'll see that we did a bunch of work. We improved visibility listings, and we highlight all of that in our report for the client to show them the work that we've done. We show them anything that we may be waiting on the customer for, and this client doesn't have any. But we also show them the things that we completed. Social posts that we put online using our social marketing tool, visibility that we improved, again, reviews that we may have responded to, and mentions that we read through and determined whether there was action required on the behalf of the business. So these are some of the things that we're able to deliver to the client, and the snapshot report, coupled with the collateral that we're going to provide you in that sales deck that we've been using on the street with salespeople all over North America, we've come up and cracked the code on how to carry on this conversation with the business person. So I just want to summarize one final time some of the things that you're going to want to talk about on every sales call. When you take out snapshot, make sure you determine that this is actually how the business wants to be seen. This anchor data needs to be correct, or any of the data that we pulled in this report is going to be incorrect. So you want to set that up right out of the gate. Hey, Mr. Business Person, is this how you want to be seen? Then we went out and we did this report. The first is where you're found on the internet. This is your presence, and you have pretty good presence. But when it comes to the accuracy of that presence, you have some issues, and we are able to help you with that. We can either give you a solution with listing distribution that's going to just automatically communicate with these places, or we might even be able to go in and talk to some of the, maybe the big four of Google, Yelp, Bing, or Yahoo, and actually claim those listing sites for the business. The second is reviews. If they don't have reviews, we need to encourage the business person that they need to get some reviews, because 90% of US consumers are starved for reviews and use them in their buying decisions. If in the case of this client where they have a healthy review pipeline, we need to impress upon them that they're never going to go to 6 places every day to see if a consumer has left them a review. So that's where they need the automated system through Reputation Intelligence to just deliver those reviews to their key managers on a daily basis. We also look at their social media channels and their mobile-friendly website in the snapshot report. If you are not selling these components, you can just come in here and turn them off. And then they're not going to appear in the report. So that is a quick drive through how it would work from a reseller standpoint, some of the things that you need to impress upon your reseller teams and your salespeople. Snapshot is the key. You can go out and prospect new business or existing customers that you have a relationship with, and you can show them an up to 7-page report that will help them with that sales process. Once again, my name is George Leith, and I thank you for your time, and I hope this has helped you in starting that conversation and prospecting new business using Reputation Intelligence.